Scalar function, I find that scalar functions are one of my favorite features within SQL. I often, in my work, I find that I'm having to write these very complex queries and select, um, you know, computations where I'm taking a bunch of columns, doing some sort of action on them, and then like calling functions or trimming them or doing whatever, and then having to put all the pieces back together. And that can become very laborious, especially when you're kind of doing the same tasks over and over again, and it makes queries super hard to read. So by defining scalar functions, you're able to kind of abstract away that functionality. You take it and you move it into its own space, into its own kind of unit of work, just like you would in a piece of software. You just basically create the function, you pass the value in that you want to be computed, and then you let the function do the work, and then it returns back that value. And that, in essence, is why they call them scalar functions, is because you're just dealing with a one value in and one value out. So while they kind of seem silly in some respects, people may look at them and go, well, why do I need to do that? I'll just write it directly in the query. That is a perfectly valid argument, but I also find that if you're doing the same task repeatedly, that repetition of task starts to bring some merit to needing things like scalar functions and other types of user-defined functions. So they're definitely a big thing to use. We will be testing on that ability to utilize those functions for certain computations of column data through the end of the term, so things like that will definitely have value for you.